Anytime you fixate, obsess, want to change something that you cannot change, it leads to so much suffering. People are more sensitive. When you have social anxiety, you're more sensitive to facial cues. And so you might misinterpret. People don't connect well to perfection. It's unrealistic. We all have this natural built-in alarm system that is meant to protect you from some type of threat outside of yourself. And we need it. It's adaptive. It keeps humans safe. If you were to be in danger, like if you could imagine, if you're driving your car and the cops are, you see the cops right behind you, your heart's going to start beating fast. You're going to be in that fight or flight mode that something might be wrong. And so to protect you, your body's responding. So that's normal anxiety in a situation where, there's a trigger that would be probably anxiety provoking for anyone. When we talk about anxiety, in this case, for people with social anxiety, fear of being judged, your fight or flight response is super sensitive. Your alarm system is easily set off by these really unthreatening situations, but you're still reacting as if you're unsafe. With social anxiety, there's research that shows that when you have social anxiety, you're more sensitive to facial cues. And so you might misinterpret someone who's just looking at you seriously. You might take it as you're being judged when really they're just have a blank face. In college, I was part of some research. The findings was that if you're socially anxious, sometimes you're paying more attention to those neutral cues and taking it negatively. And I think social anxiety and body image go hand in hand. Women are allowed to look different days. I mean, like women are allowed to show up with different looks. Who says you're supposed to always look the same? Or like, I felt this pressure to always look good or the same or whatever that meant. And that's just one piece of it. But basically, I'm taking the pressure off of me that I don't need to look any sort of way. The more you do something, the less power it has over you. Your feelings about it are less intense. Reframing is just changing your mindset, is changing the way you think about something, like that this is a part of you that doesn't need to be a negative. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and everyone has things about them that they want to change or possibly that they wish were different. Anytime you fixate, obsess, want to change something that you cannot change, it leads to so much suffering. So that acceptance, really trying to learn how to reframe what it means to you. It's more about being okay with being imperfect and accepting yourself as a human being. I think there's a lot of work that's a little deeper to help with the reframing. It's more about self-worth, self-confidence, and healing that part of yourself. When people see you blush or flush or get red, most of the time, my guess is they will feel more able to connect with you because you're imperfect. People don't connect well to perfection. It's unrealistic, right? So if you're able to know that this part of you could actually help you connect to others on a deeper level, this part of you is nothing to be ashamed of. You don't need to hide it. And I think like you might show up, and instead of trying to push this part of you away and saying, don't feel this way, I hope this doesn't happen, kind of imagine it being like a friend on your shoulder, an annoying friend who's just always hanging around. You don't want them there, but they're there with you. So how can you welcome them and kind of let them be with you on the journey rather than trying to push them away? If this is getting to the point where it's blocking you from something that you want and you are suffering, you don't need to suffer alone. You can talk to someone. And I do truly think therapy can help. It doesn't mean you need to be in therapy forever. Maybe it's just 1 or 2 sessions, but talking to someone really does help to break the shame around this. So, or talking to someone in your life about it if you felt comfortable.